oh, he's going to walk to the bathroom to take a piss. I'm going to walk with him and get a couple captions for the next 5 videos that we have.
One other thing I want to dive into with you is how do you create a content machine? What did that team look like? How big was it? What's the systems around that? I just want to kind of like do an in-depth breakdown, deep dive on the systems and just what the team looks like in general.
Yeah, Team Gary is the best. Big love for Team Gary. Amazing people on the team. At its peak, I think we had 29 members, maybe 30. Massive. In the very beginning, and for the first major chunk of when I was on the team, all communication took place in iMessage. So we had 2 big chats. We had GaryVee Squad and we had Team GaryVee. One was with Gary, one was without. Massive. Like everybody's in this group chat and it's just brrr, like, when I first was on the team, the way it worked was like you make a micro clip and you text it to Gary. In the group chat, one off, both. It was like a competition almost. Like you make your micro and then you're like sending it to Gary and it's like, there's tons of us editing videos. So it's like, we're all sending him videos. Whose video is he going to post? It was a blast. And like a lot of like, especially the videographers like are also competitive. So it was just fun. It was all in good fun though. It was never like weird or anything like that. I loved it. It was perfect for my personality. I would make a clip. I would text it in the group chat. I would text it to Gary solo. I would ping him. Like I would bump it all the time. Like I was relentless about it, especially clips that I felt good about. Oftentimes he would then like take the clip, post it on Twitter to see like, how did it do on Twitter? Oh, it did well? Okay, cool. Boom, let's move it over to IG kind of thing. And he would post it. Like he would download it from iMessage, put it into Instagram, write the caption, and then hit post.
Wow.
Like, it was wild. Yeah. Remarkable. Like all of the comments, anything you see from @GaryVee is Gary.
Why do you think that is, that he wanted to do everything himself as far as like posting caption?
I think one big priority for him is authenticity and being as real as he's able to with his other commitments. Eventually we created a different system where it was like he would text the team, you can post it now, and he would write the caption and everything. So it was all his words. And
he just have to download and upload. Yeah.
Correct. And the reason why he would do that is he was like, I don't want to be like in a meeting or something like that where I wouldn't normally post and have it go up.
His whole company is around social, right? So like in order to be at the forefront of just like, hey, like what's working? Social media, there's like stuff changing every day and like what people are reacting to, like the micro nuances in like a caption or something like that, right? And so probably the fact of manually for him uploading, writing the caption, all that stuff, like it kind of probably kept him very sharp as well, right?
Oh yeah, he always talked about how the thing that made him different than most is he's a practitioner. He's not just a pontificator. Actually, like something that he rolled out into Vayner was like having the heads of different teams that were working on different clients, like the, creative director, like you're putting out 3 tweets a day. Like you're going to be a practitioner as well, because like that's the only way to stay dangerous, right? Is to like be in the weeds and know what's going on. Because like you said, it's constantly evolving. So internally, we started implementing like Asana, creating tickets for videos and stuff like that, getting a little bit more methodical. It used to be that it was like the videographer would come in and before you edited Daily V, you would make at least 2 micro clips based on your subjective call of what the good moment was. With the right people, that is an amazing model. I think it's great. But we started getting a little bit more technical with it. And like, we would do things like we would upload the long form content to YouTube. And then from there, pull engagement spikes where you would see spikes in engagement on the graph. At the time, it wasn't like you could just look at the video. You had to go into the analytics side and stuff. But then it was like, cool, this is a timestamp that clearly people fucked with. Let's make it for Instagram. Let's make it for Twitter. Let's make it for LinkedIn. And eventually, let's make it for TikTok. It was going into YouTube comments. Like people will timestamp moments in a video in their comment and they'll reference it. And it was like, well, this is a clear indicator that this was a good moment. So let's clip it. So we used all those kind of like social indicators of good content to drive what we would do. But then there was like cool moments. Like one of the micro clips that I'm most proud of was the blueberry clip. And that was a moment where it was like straight up, and I'm not trying to like brag here, but it was just like, right after we filmed it, I was like, this is a really good moment. Like, this is great. And I edited it on the plane on the way home. I sent it to Gary and he had a good feeling about it. We didn't know it was going to do what it did, but like, he was like, yeah, this is a good clip because it's a combo of like entertainment, utilitarian, and like education at the end. So it hit like all 3 things that you need for like a perfect piece of content. obviously that shit went fucking wild. Like people were sending pounds of blueberries. Still to this day, I think people send him blueberries.
Okay, so you mentioned there was like 29 people at the team. What do those people do? Like, are they divided by platform? Is it by like long form, short form? What are those people doing?
One of my favorite things about Team Gary and about Gary is you make a system, and then the moment new information is presented, you pivot. So we changed how we did this, not like every week, not every month, but every once in a while we would change it. So we did, for a while, it was generalist. You're a videographer, you're making videos based on need. We need LinkedIn. All right, cool. I'm going to make more LinkedIn content. We need Instagram. Cool. Eventually we started honing in on like giving different platforms, different creators. When Gary really started being like, TikTok is real, we're going to go ham on it, I got the wonderful opportunity to work on TikTok. So I was like, pretty much all I did all day was live on TikTok and make TikTok clips. For whatever reason, I really thrived in it. When I was making TikTok clips and someone else was posting, I was doing good. When I was making the clips and I was posting and I was watching the first hour, how it would perform, I was watching the comments hardcore, I was seeing everything that was happening with it. That's when it started like going batshit crazy.
Because you're getting like direct feedback that you can implement into the next edit.
Yep. Immediate feedback loops. And Gary always really pushed paying attention to the comments. So it was like Avital and I really paid attention to the comments. There was like a weird evolution of like relationship to Gary. Like when we first came onto the platform hardcore, it was like, it was like Grandpa Gary, then it became Uncle Gary, then people were calling him Dad, then people were calling him Bro. He moved closer and closer to people as far as like relation, right? Because at the beginning it was a bunch of kids, right? And so like an older dude coming on was like Grandpa, but then he was the cool uncle. It just progressively came close. And if you're just posting, making and posting and then leaving, you don't notice little things like that. But when you notice things like that, you make content around it, referencing it, right? So like we would bombard Gary, like whenever he'd be in between meetings, there'd be like the next people that are waiting to jump into his office. I would just like quickly rush in and be like, hey, I have a clip that I need to film with you. There was like a trend about school finals for kids in school. I was like, what can I do that will be catchy, that will prompt him, that will take us, 30 seconds. So I took an apple and I wrote fuck finals on it. And I just like held it to the camera, went like this, and then tossed it to him. He looks at it, he's like, fuck finals. He like gives his little spiel, and then he takes a bite out of it. And it was like a crazy clip.
That's good.
But, like, we were so deep in it that like we knew what was working.
Gary's always like in a stream of like to-dos, right? And like you have to strategically insert yourself. Like he exits a meeting, he literally has like 30 seconds. You're like, how do I turn these 30 seconds into like a viral clippable moment, right? And like you just like set the context for that, prepare the apple, which is like a great prop for like a viral video, right? And
I think that was one of the jokes on the team was like, I don't want this to come across like I'm bragging or anything like that, but like one thing that I really tried to do was pay attention to his timing on things. Oh, he's gonna walk to the bathroom to take a piss. I'm gonna walk with him and get a couple captions for the next 5 videos that we have. I think that's something that like, any videographers, any people that are watching that are directly working with an individual that is busy, it's good to notice those things and take advantage of those moments if that person wants that. A lot of people would be like pissed about like me trying to take advantage of them walking to the back. Like that for them is a break. For Gary, he was like maximizing every second. So he would always encourage me. He's like, Caleb, you can't text me enough. You'll never bug me. If you ever get to that point, I will tell you, but like, I doubt that'll ever happen. And so I actually took him at his word there. And I was like, cool, I will text you nonstop to get something. If I needed a caption that day, I would literally wake up and look at his calendar and be like, oh, cool. He is in transit to the office right now. I'm going to text him. So like, I just always was trying to time things like that. And, I was trying to see like, what kind of mode is he in? Did he just get out of like a really crazy business call? Okay, cool. We're going to talk about some business shit then.